Imagine that you have only a few days left to live. How would you spend them? Who would you spend them with? What would you say to them? What would you regret? What would you cherish? Hi, I'm Peter, and this story is by Gino DiCaprio. This is the story of John, a billionaire who faced this dilemma when he was diagnosed with terminal cancer. John had spent his life chasing money, power, and fame at the expense of everything else. He had neglected his family, his friends, his children, and even himself. He had alienated, hurt, and betrayed everyone who ever loved him. He had made himself and others miserable. But on his deathbed, he had a chance to redeem himself. He had a chance to share his regrets and his wisdom with his protégé, Mark. Mark was a young and ambitious man who admired John as a mentor, a role model, and a father figure. John had taught Mark everything he knew about business, success, and wealth. He had given Mark everything he had. He had molded Mark into a copy of himself. But he realized that he had done Mark a disservice. He realized that he had led him astray, that he had corrupted his soul, and that he had to warn him not to follow in his footsteps. He realized that he had to teach him the most important lesson of life. So he did. He told him that he was dying and that he was sorry. He told him that he was wrong and that money, power, and fame were not everything. That happiness, love, and people were everything. To remember that, to keep that, and to value that. Not to waste his life chasing after nothing, not to lose his life forgetting about everything. He told him to live his life to the fullest. To live his life meaningfully and lovingly. He was shocked, saddened, and confused, but he was also touched, grateful, and enlightened. He listened to him and learned from him. He promised him that he would live his life and that he would live his life the way he wanted him to. He would live his life the way he wished he had. He was relieved, proud, and happy. He thanked him. He loved him. He said goodbye to him. He died peacefully. He was heartbroken, devastated, and alone. But he was also hopeful, inspired, and changed. He remembered and honored him. He lived his life the way he was taught to. He lived his life the way he learned too late. This is the story of John and Mark, of regret and redemption, and of the last lesson. What is your story? What is your lesson? Think about it and act on it before it's too late.